1,000 nautical miles in 30 seconds or less. Let's go. We bought a boat in Eastbourne, sailed the south coast, including the Portland Bill inshore passage. We rounded Land's End, darting into Padstow when things got rough. We crossed the Bristol Channel, Cardigan Bay and Carnarvon Bay. We avoided disaster at North Stack and waited out storms in Isle of Man and Northern Ireland. We made it to Scotland only to lose our anchor in the Sound of Mull, and we're now here in Corpach, ready to take reach out Hiem via the Caledonian Canal. Well, it is 7:15 on our first morning going through the Caledonian Canal. We have a 0% chance of rain right now, and at 8 o'clock still a 0% chance of rain, and at 9 o'clock a 0% chance of rain. 0% chance of rain. In fact, it's raining so much that you can't even see Ben Nevis. The mountains have disappeared. Does this look like 0% chance of rain? We're through the first locks. Yay! Happy Skip?
Right.
Happy dog?
No.
She's not happy. She wants to run around. She can't be trusted. We're approaching Neptune's staircase. I believe it's 9 locks, one after the other. Might be 8. But still, look at that. We're in the first one. It's a bit nerve-wracking because there's not that much space. We're really close to the boat in front. And those great big gates with all the water coming over, it reminds me of being on the Jurassic Park ride at Universal Studios. It's like, what's on the other side of the gates? Also, there's just tons of people standing around taking pictures of us. It's weird. One down. I'm not liking the look of our bowline. I think it's already starting to chafe. That's not good. Huey's getting banished to below deck. She's attacking everyone who comes to say hi to her. How's the new line handler doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm earning my cup of tea.
Yes. absolutely drenched. We normally like to moor up port side too, that's our preferred way, but at the last second we changed over to starboard because there was more room on this side of the canal. So I had about 20 seconds to move all the fenders over, but then we have a fender step which I didn't have time to move over, so I had to leap quite a distance to get onto the pontoon. But yeah, we got moored up, it wasn't too difficult, and now Rob's cooking us a nice pie and potatoes. That'll be very nice. And the plan tomorrow, I believe, is to go through Loch Lochy and then moor up at the very top end of that. The view is pretty nice. I'll probably zoom in on this. But yeah, lovely views of the mountains. Very nice, very peaceful. Day 2 on the Caledonian Canal. We just left our moorings, which were at the top of Neptune's staircase. So the first half of our journey today should just be lovely, relaxing canal, which should be really, really nice. We have a couple of swing bridges and locks to get through later, and then it'll open up into Loch Lochy. We might be able to get a little bit of sailing up Loch Lochy, but I doubt it. We haven't even set the mainsail ready for it, but so if we do, it'll just be on the Genoa. And we are going to spend the night at the very top of Loch Lochy. There's some pontoons there and a nice restaurant slash bar which is on a floating barge, so that's exciting. It makes a real change having this water that is so still compared to being out at sea and in the lochs. The reflections are absolutely amazing. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but there's a lot of what looks like heather on that mountain, and the purple is reflecting in the water as well. It's really pretty. We are at our first stop, so Rob's going to do a little recce. We're kind of at the Caledonian lock, so we've got to do a lock and then the swing bridge and then another lock, and then we're into Loch Lochy. So Mum is walking Yui. I'm going to make us a cup of tea and a tuna sandwich. That'll be nice. Except we're out of gas, so I can't make the cup of tea. It's always at the worst time. Day 2 on the Caledonian Canal finished, and we are going to a floating pub, which we hope is open because Rob is dying for a pint.
Kind of real ale. Real ale has been few and far between in Scotland, and we're on a barge on a loch.
And you're in a comfortable seat.
I'm in a comfy seat.
Little Yui is extremely grumpy and unsociable when it comes to other dogs. This is her on her absolute best behaviour.
This one just wants to play.
With that brightly coloured and you'll see the F-35.
I've just taken Yui out for her evening stroll, and I have the feeling I'm surrounded by big deer. Like, I can hear them jumping out of the bushes and like going into the loch to try and get away from Yui. Even though Yui's on a lead, she's no danger to them whatsoever. I'd never let her near them. But yeah, it's really spooky, it's dark, and I'd kind of like to see the deer, but I don't want to get trampled by them. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll see what we can spot on the way back to the boat. But I missed it on the camera. There was one in the middle of the road and it was massive, and it was just staring at me. It was a bit of a Mexican standoff, Welshie versus deer. I went to get the camera and of course it disappeared like a ghost. This is the top of Fort Augustus Locks in the evening, with the beautiful mountains in the background. It's really peaceful now. When we arrived and we took a walk into the town, it was so busy. It was actually a little bit overwhelming how many people were around, all the bus tours and things. There's Reach Out, just chilling in the setting sun. And then we had a beautiful evening of just glorious sunshine. And I've had a lovely shower, not a timed shower, a long hot shower, and I feel very rejuvenated. Shouted at some kids earlier. Well, not kids, they were like, I would say mid to late teens, like 15, 16. One of them was spitting at the ducks, so I shouted at him. He tried to give an excuse. I told him that excuse was nonsense, then he moved on. But yeah, some people are ugh.
Can you see the monster? Welcome to beautiful Loch Ness. And it is a beautiful day in Loch Ness. It was a bloody awful night though. So windy through the night. And we were in very shallow water, so I was quite nervous. Every little creek and so on. I was up investigating it, so another night of crap sleep. But we didn't hit anything. What we actually did yesterday afternoon was get the plumb lines out, because the depth indicator said 200 millimeters, 20 centimeters, 0.2 of a meter. But we just wanted to test that with plumb lines, so we put plumb lines off the stern and off both sides of the boat, and actually we had about a meter from the stern, so we from the center of the stern, so we were quite happy with that. But still, I still get nervous moored up to rickety pontoons in shallow water. So yeah, a restless night. The weather today, really intense sunlight, spits of rain, so typical Scottish summer's day. We've got very variable wind conditions. It's 5 gusting 25, which is, we haven't seen the gusts at a factor of 5 over the prevailing wind speed anywhere in the UK, but we are surrounded by mountains. So if our time in Greece, there's a gust. If our time in Greece taught us anything about mountains and sailing, is that you get very strong winds coming down, especially in the afternoons in Greece where it's all hot and you get what we call katabatic winds. So it makes it difficult to sail because not only is it 5 to 25, so nothing to quite a lot, it's coming from every direction. So 1 second it's a lovely downwind, and then literally 5 seconds later it's coming straight at you. 5 seconds later it's tacked, and then it's back around to the stern, and then it's jibing. So it makes sailing a real pain in the arse actually. So we're doing a bit of motor sailing. But yeah, can't complain. The forecast was also rain, and it isn't raining, so we'll take that. And we've just applied the sun cream, so within 30 seconds it should start raining. Stop tonight is Seaport Marina next to Inverness, so it'll be nice to get somewhere which is a reasonably more civilized. Get to Lidl or Aldi or Adley or whatever it is, restock, get some beers in, importantly, get some food. Yeah, and charge the batteries as well. That also needs doing. But looking forward to getting to somewhere new tonight. This is more like it. For once, we are doing a downwind sail. It's not in our faces. Lovely.
6 knots just on the Genoa. Are you enjoying the sailing?
I'm really enjoying my sailing.
Yay!
Morning, Yui. What's for breakfast? Good girl. Kiss, kiss.
The new anchor is here. Ah, ready to be installed. Are you excited?
I am excited.
Couple of shout outs while we're just making sure we know what we're doing. Firstly, Andrew in Portsmouth for securing us a discount on the anchor. Very, very much appreciated. Second shout out to Tony, my mum and dad's neighbour, for signing for it and looking after it while they were up here. And final shout out to Dad for driving it up here. So yes, we are excited to install the new one. Step 1, we want about 6 inches of the seizing wire.
I'll cut off a little bit more just in case
give me some
we
excess. Step 2, attach the anchor to the chain using the shackle.
Hang on, start this again. Outtakes. These are our outtakes, aren't they? Oh my god.
Step 2. Step 2, attach the chain to the shackle.
Yes.
Except you need to then put the shackle around the anchor as well.
Yeah, fuck's sake. This needs to be here. Right. Are you starting it again?
Step 2, take 3. We are attaching the shackle to the anchor and the chain. And then we're just using pliers to sort of tighten that the best we can. And then we're using seizing wire to make some nice tight loops. I think I want the ends about the same size. Between, would you call this like the eye of the shackle on the pin?
No idea. You can call it whatever you like, dear.
I'll call it the eye of the pin. And I want these loops nice and tight. And then we're going to try and use pliers to tighten this up as best we can before twisting them together.
Tell you've never worked on TV before, your hands keep getting in the way of what you're doing.
Eesh, what a shame. Okay. Why do we have to use the pliers to twist it? Why can't I use my hands?
Because you want it nice and tight.
Okay.
That's why.
How's that looking?
It's looking good. Oh yeah, oh
Do you think
yeah.
that's enough?
I think just, do you not, I don't know.
So we cut the ends off.
Do we?
Yes. There we go.
Right. There. So there.
Let's compare to Yachting Monthly's instructions.
Well, theirs goes up here and it's not as long. So I think if we cut off some more.
So we can kind of like...
Shout out Yachting Monthly, yeah!
Press that in nice and snug.
Is that where it sat before?
Sat a bit.
Yeah, that's it.
Clunk.
With our new anchor installed and an extra dog on board, there was only one thing for it. It was time for fish and chips.
I've broken tradition and instead of getting fish and chips, I've gone for a haddock wrap. This is with Cajun spices and chilies, so I'm hoping it's got a good kick. Rob's got... it looks good.
Redshanks Inverness, it continues. We had high hopes for this one, 4.9 out of 5 on Google reviews, and McLeod's, the other one, was shut today, so we had no choice. But not as good as we hoped, unfortunately. Frozen chips, a bit dry, fish tasteless. So yeah.
I really enjoyed mine. I think the Cajun spices were very nice. Would have liked it a little bit spicier, but I am a bit crazy with the spices. So very nice, I enjoyed that.
And the dogs enjoyed it too. Well, sailors, after 27 locks, 2 to go, 9 bridges, 1 to go, Loch Lochy, Loch Oig and Loch Ness, we were a step closer to Hjem. We were officially on the east coast. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and as always, fair winds.